Diabetes is not caused by sugar. To understand this video, you need to understand what happened to someone when he's diabetic. What happened to someone that is diabetic? Actually, what happened to a diabetic patient is that the food that he consumed, the food that she consumed, normally supposed to be break down into a molecule known as glucose. Glucose is normally found in almost 90% of what you eat, and that glucose is what the cells of your various organs is going to receive as energy that you later on use for his function. But in the context of a diabetic patient, that glucose cannot enter into those cells. That glucose cannot enter into the cells for them to perform their various functions, and that is because of a condition known as insulin resistance. Now, what is insulin resistance? What you should know is that for your glucose to enter into your various cells, that's your brain, your brain cells, your liver cells, your muscle cells, there's a hormone that is supposed to go and knock into the doors of those cells so that he will open and let the glucose in, and that hormone is known as insulin. So without insulin knocking to the doors of the cells, glucose we're not getting. But in the context of a diabetic patient, what happens is that because insulin has been knocking at the door of the cells many times and repeatedly without any glucose entering into the cells. So the insulin kept knocking because of the spike of insulin at the level of your blood. So because the insulin level is increasing in your blood, it keeps knocking at the door of the cells, but no glucose enter. When the glucose is increased in the blood and then the insulin knock at the door of the cells, the cells no longer respond because there have been an increase, or I would say an over stimulus by those insulin to those cells, and they develop what they call insulin resistance. That is what is actually known as insulin resistance. So you're in a context where you have excess glucose in your blood and excess insulin, but the cells do not respond to the insulin so that they will let the glucose in. So actually avoiding taking sugar doesn't prevent you or doesn't heal your diabetes. So when you are thinking of reversing your diabetes, when you are thinking of preventing diabetes, what you should do is to reduce the level of insulin. And there are many things that cause insulin increase in your blood. The number one is stress. So anything that leads to stress or chronic stress is prone to lead to diabetes. Yes. Actually, most of the people that are diabetic is as a result of chronic stress because of the stress they have been going through, maybe at that job site, maybe financial stress, maybe social stress in their environment. That led to spike of insulin in their blood, and their cells became resistant to insulin, and they later on start developing a condition where the glucose level is increased in the blood. So someone is not necessarily diabetic because he has been consuming a lot of sugar, but rather the reason is this insulin level has been consistently rising in the blood. Another thing that can cause the insulin to be consistently rising in the blood is eating what is called over or highly processed food. Highly processed food contain what is known as added sugar. Now, you consume repeatedly or on a daily basis those highly processed food can stimulate spikes of insulin in your blood and also lead to insulin resistance. So understanding what is the root cause of diabetes and preventing what can lead to that root cause, which is insulin resistance, will ultimately help you to prevent diabetes and best reverse your diabetes if you're already diabetic. If this video was helpful, kindly like, comment and share so that others may be blessed as well. You may change your life by doing that. See you in the next video. Bye.